I want to talk about a particular specific mind construct that I named Tyra. Tyra is an algorithm. An algorithm is basically a set of rules utilized to solve a problem within mathematics or computer coding. An algorithm can also be simply a set of rules that determine how a program will execute and behave as that program in itself is the outflow of the particular algorithms that have been set within that program. The program here is, from the perspective of myself, is the particular set of behaviors and characteristics that I execute within my world and reality, which equal to the sum as my personality. Tyra is an algorithm. It is a mind construct. It is a mind principle that executes how I behave and react as an outflow consequence of this particular program within myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to be and become within my world and reality. You have imaginations within the mind, imaginations as those intangible constructs that one interacts with daily. Doesn't really have to be a person or an entity that one converses with on a conscious mind level, an imaginary friend, or the imagination is simply how one has extrapolated meaning, took a piece of the physical and formed it into an intangible construct that one projects back to the real world, and within that projection comes behaviors, characteristics that define one's life and living. I could say that, well, let me backtrack for a moment. So that entails that every kind of judgment within oneself is, in fact, a particular backchat, or, in other words, particular specific internal dialogues within oneself that came from how one picked certain parts of the physical world, formed a relationship to it, and thus formed a reaction to it. What I mean by formed a relationship to it is judgment, or interpretation. So basically we have, for instance, a tree one interprets that tree as being 10,000 years old. No, that isn't. Well, let me just, I guess I'll say 500 years old. Okay. And the tree interprets it as being 500 years old. So what one did within that moment is, in fact, took that tree, formed a hypothesis or an interpretation of that tree being 500 years old. And so within that, what one sees as that tree is not the real age of the tree anymore. It is that tree formed within and as being 500 years old. Whatever form that you connect to that tree as being 500 years old, and not for what that the age of the tree really is, in fact. Thus, when and as one sees the tree, one relates to that tree based on that interpretation as a particular judgment. Thus, interpretation would be the same as a judgment in this sense. So the same with people, how we take a person, we interpret that person as being angry based on a memory within oneself. For example, myself, I was looking at a particular female, and this female, because of her race, I defined the shape of her body. I connected the shape of her body based on her race as her being directive. Her having directive principle within her world, knowing how to direct things and get things done in an efficient manner. I judged her as being directive because of her physical body shape, because of her race. And so within that, I interpreted and I placed a judgment onto her as an imagination, as that interpretation was in fact an imagination from a particular memory of me, for instance, being with my family and seeing the shapes of their bodies, not in a sexual way, but seeing the shapes of their bodies and the environment within that, and channeling all of those memories within that one physical body shape of a particular female. And so I judge her as being self-directive, or having the ability to direct things, direct individuals within her world and reality. So the imagination is in fact that interpretation, that relationship through seeing, through connecting particular memories to that physical body shape. And so imagination doesn't have to only be a memory within a moving picture within one's mind as a memory. It is in fact an interpretation, because one is imagining someone being a certain way based on interpretation. So one has to in fact have a look in detail the constructs, the algorithms that created that point within within one's world and reality as a relationship pattern. Now with Tyra, which is a particular algorithm within my mind, Tyra came from many different types of scripts, if you will. Scripts. A script is a particular code that creates a particular algorithm. A script is in fact an algorithm. It can be, but a script would be one line of code from a particular algorithm. or a program, in other words. So the scripts would be the particular thoughts and imaginations, all of the pictures and images within my mind that formed and created the entire construct known as Tyra. So, for example, Tyra, I connected her to 7 of 9, which is a character from Star Trek Voyager series. I took 7 of 9's form, which would be one script. I scripted that form into the algorithm of Tyra. I took 7 of 9's personality. I scripted into the particular algorithm. I took 7 of 9's suit. I scripted into the algorithm known as Tyra. I took 7 of 9's her, did I say personality? Her personality and some other stuff within 7 of 9. I also took the character, which she was a Vulcan also. No, I'm sorry, she was a Vulcan, which is a particular alien race in the Star Trek series. I forgot her name. I think it's I forgot her name. I can't remember her name, but she was a female Vulcan in the Star Trek series. But anyway, I took her hair, which was black. I scripted it into the algorithm of Tyra. I took her face and I manipulated a little bit and scripted into Tyra. So you see all of these points, these scripts, which came from particular images and pictures, I scripted into the algorithm of Tyra. And thus, there are reasons behind each script. One of the reasons would be because I saw 7 of 9's personality as being unemotional, stoic, and being looks like she has the ability to direct things in a dry manner, meaning that she doesn't form and create an emotional response that outflows as an illusion of directiveness, but she in fact simply directs with no emotional response. It is a simple movement that she does as a directive principled ability within her as her character. And so the reason that I would script that into Tyra is because I am not in fact living that within my own life, within my own world and reality. So therefore I scripted it into Tyra in separation and made it a more than value, a superior value, and thus separated myself even more from that ability to simply move myself as this self-directive principled movement that I see within the 7 of 9 character in the Star Trek series. And so I don't in fact live that. I projected into this algorithm known as Tyra, and what I did within my world in reality is I made Tyra alive, and I made her a friend, an imaginary friend within myself. And so thus I'm conversing within my mind. I'm conversing with an entity that is a manifestation of separation. as everything that she represents is everything that I separated myself from, because I created a value to it. I created a value to females with short hair, short dark hair, believing that because I connected short dark hair, I connected short hair to a female that is more on the there's this female that had short hair within my world in reality, and I connected her to a female from the future. Because if you look at females from the future in television shows, they seem to have this short hair. And also, I connected this short hair to techno music, and connected techno music to the future. Because if you look at techno music, there's always these lights in the clubs, these lights which looks futuristic, and so the short hair would come from that, because I connected this female that I saw to her liking techno, which she did like techno music, and so I connected her to being a female that would fit into a character of a female playing a future role in a sitcom or something. And the dark hair came from dark hair as in power, and also space, outer space, because space is dark. So there's a lot of stuff in this. I mean, it is deep stuff. All these scripts have their own scripts also, so which created the construct of Tyra as an imaginary friend. And so in the next vlog, I will talk a little bit more about the role that I gave Tyra and what I will do to correct myself within this construct as Tyra. Thank you.